Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is a camera review of the Moto G6. Now these are the specifications of the phone. On the rear, this phone sports a dual camera setup with a 12MP primary camera with f1.8 aperture and a 5MP secondary camera with f2.2 aperture. On the front, it has a single 8MP camera with f2.2 aperture. Now this is the camera interface for the rear camera. These are all the modes that we get on this phone. And this is the interface for the front-facing camera. Now let's look at some sample pictures. All these sample pictures were taken in daylight and well-lit conditions using Auto HDR. While taking HDR shots, capturing speeds are slow. Phone takes like a second or two to capture the shot. Images turn out to be a little dull with warm colors, but have good dynamic range and good amount of details. For regular pictures where dynamic range is not involved, capturing speeds are good. Color reproduction and exposure control are also very well managed. Even for macro shots, I didn't have any issues with focusing and you get good bokeh effect. Color reproduction even in the macro shots was pretty good. Now coming to the portrait shots, here are the sample pictures. Just like the previous phones with dual cameras like the Moto G5s Plus or the Moto X4, even on this phone, edge detection isn't good and sometimes it doesn't even take a portrait shot. Phones from Honor and Xiaomi in this price segment do a much better job with edge detection. With all that said, most of the time you can see those imperfections or mistakes only when you zoom in, so they are pretty much usable. Now there are other camera features this phone offers, and I've already mentioned that in my best features video, so here's a quick clip from that video. And this is how you can take portrait shots. We can adjust the slider to change the amount of background blur effect we want. Next we have Selective Focus. Once you have taken a picture in portrait mode, you get two options. One of them is Selective Focus, where you can change the focus point even after taking a picture. So let's say you took a picture in the portrait mode and then want to change the focus point, then you can do it using this feature. By the way, we can also change the amount of blur effect we want in this mode. Now the next feature is Selective Black and White. Now just like the name suggests, we can turn the background or the foreground to black and white. And this is how we can do it. Next we have Cutout mode. Using this feature, we can change the background of our subject. First take a picture in this mode. Then go to settings. From here, you can apply a different background for your subject. Next we have Spot Color mode. Using this feature, we can turn everything in an image into black and white except for one color. So to use this feature, select the mode and then select the color that you want to display. And everything except that color will turn into black and white. Once again, we can adjust the slider to change the effect of the spot color. Next we have text selection. Now just like the name suggests, once you're in this mode, you can simply take a picture. Your phone tries to scan the text from the image and give you the text. Now from that point, you can copy the text or even do a Google search. So far in my testing, it doesn't work properly. It's mostly a hit or a miss, just like some of the previous features that I mentioned that uses the dual camera setup. Next we have a feature called face filters, which simply adds these animated stickers to your face. It works for both the front and rear cameras, and here are some sample pictures. Next we have slow motion video recording, even for the front facing camera. Now most of the phones have slow motion for the rear camera, even this phone does, but for some reason it has slow motion for the front camera, and this is how it looks. Next we have group selfie. Just like the panorama shot for the rear camera, we can take a wide angle shot. We have group selfie, which allows us to take a wider selfie just by tilting our phone. Now coming to the low light performance, images are soft but it still maintains good color reproduction and images are sufficiently bright. On the whole, it does a pretty good job in low lighting conditions. Now coming to the front facing camera, these are some selfies taken in daylight and well-lit conditions. Just like all the previous Moto phones, you get wide angle lens for the front facing camera, so you get wider selfies. Dynamic range, color reproduction and exposure control are all good. It even has auto HDR for the front camera and it works really well. All these pictures were taken with auto HDR on. While taking HDR shots, capturing speeds are slow, but you get good results. When there is a bright background is completely overexposed, selfies look slightly faded, and color reproduction is slightly off. On the whole, this phone can definitely take some good selfies, but not the best. By the way, this phone doesn't have any portrait mode for the front camera, so there are no portrait selfies for this phone. Now coming to the low light performance, in low light, as you might expect, selfies are soft, capturing speeds are slow, and colors look slightly faded. Once again, selfies look good and manageable, but not the best. Now coming to video recording, here's the sample footage from the rear camera. Unlike the last year's Moto G series phones, on this phone, we can only record video at a maximum of 1080p resolution, but at 60fps and 30fps. It also offers electronic image stabilization, so the footage is pretty stable. Now coming to the footage itself, footage looks warm and a bit overexposed. In good lighting conditions, color reproduction and exposure control are good. Even the autofocus works really well. For rear camera video recording, this phone definitely does a great job. So guys, this is a sample footage recorded using the Moto G6 using the front facing camera at 1080p resolution, and this is how the footage looks like. The audio is from the mic itself, so check out the noise cancellation offered by the phone, and right now check out the stabilization and let me know how it is in the comment section below. Now for the front camera, this phone can only record at a maximum of 1080p resolution at 30fps and there is no stabilization, so the footage is slightly shaky. If you have stable hands, you will get a stable footage. Now coming to the footage itself, footage from the front camera looks really good. Color reproduction is slightly off, but the rest of the things like exposure control, skin tones, dynamic range all look pretty good. Once again, for video recording, this phone does a pretty good job. So guys, to conclude, cameras on this phone are really good, but not the best in the price segment, and it is missing some features. It still has issues with the portrait mode, and it doesn't even have portrait selfies. So if you're looking for a phone with good cameras, regular pictures and good selfies, you may consider this phone. But if you want better portrait shots for both the front and rear cameras and better cameras on the whole, then I would definitely not recommend you this phone. So guys, looking at the sample pictures and the sample footage, what's your take on the camera performance of the Moto G6? Let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It really helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video on this phone or any other phone out there, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.